What's up, guys? It's your host, Spartanic Arts DxD, back with another high school DxD related video. And today we have What If Issei Uncovered the Truth Part 12, or at least I'm pretty sure. Let's try to hit 100 to 200 likes for this video. And if you guys want to know exactly when I upload / my upload schedule, click the little blue button right next to the subscribe button, or the first link in the premiere, or the first link in the description, or the first link in the comment section. Just click the link and become a homie. You don't have to, though. It's all right. Now, I'm not going to waste too much time here. This chapter is pretty good. And without further ado, let's go and thank my Balance Breakers and Juggernaut Drive members, which are Lachlan Yates, Ant Lewis, Anthony Lewis, Zapper363, Night Ammo, and Nuga Booga Uba. Thank you so much for becoming a Balance Breaker / Juggernaut Drive member. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate that. And as for my Patreon, I'm uploading about 40 minutes of the next part every day on Patreon, so they'll get like a 40-minute, you'll be able to view the first 40 minutes of the episode on Patreon. So with that being said, let's go and thank my Patreon members: Smells Noise, Lachlan Yates, Godkiller, CJ Morales, Mark Bacon, Lord Fluff, Zero Fusion 4863, and Rise Owens. Thank you so much for becoming a Patreon member. I cannot thank you guys enough. Now, without further intrusion, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into Part 12. Chapter 11. Changes. Starting off with an evil god. Ares, so you will continue to linger in the shadows. Hades. Yes, for now. I will keep myself out of Zeus's eye for my retribution for interfering with the Atlas incident. Retribution? The weapon that Hephaestus created? Yes, Zeus ordered me to give my fair share of power to it, so that may come to our proper weapon. You complied? Of course. It was an order from my father. After all, besides, I am a god of war. Giving blessings to a weapon is not something that I would consider a tragic punishment. I see. In that case, what do you plan to do now? Well, originally I planned to do nothing. However, I have heard some interesting news from the Underworld's raiding game. Broadcast of the battle between the Red Dragon Emperor and who wields the Nemean Longinus. Apparently, the spirit of Atlas still sleeps within him. Indeed, there is no denying it. Not only there is a power, but I have seen it for myself. The burning gaze in his eyes holds two flames. However, he cannot properly utilize the power. It is too much unstable. It seems the spirit itself is limiting him so that there is no critical damages, unlike the first time it was used. Yes, well, all I was concerned with the spirit and power itself. It exists within him. Then there is something interesting to be done indeed. Oh, and pray tell what they may be. After the announcement was made, I quickly returned to Olympus to meet my father and Hephaestus. Despite agreeing to my pay retribution, I was still nowhere to be found because I was hiding in Hades. That's why, upon hearing that information about Atlas's spirit, I brought myself back to Olympus to fulfill my father's request. You agreed in construction of a weapon once learning of Atlas, so it seems you have something planned, don't you? Perhaps. I do. Something quite amusing, if I were to say. I was too much interested in learning whether the shield could inadvertently become lance, in a sense. A lance, you say? Yes, watching the newly crowned dragon of Aegeus become a dragon of raid. That is interesting. The god of war can also be attributed to the god of meddling by this point. I'm an impatient god. Boredom is something I despise. If something simple meddling that shall bring me purpose again, then I will partake. I tire of this age of peace. Atlas bringing Olympus into disarray would have brought me some entertainment. Perhaps the death of a god or two would also do well for my amusement. Unfortunately, that was halted by the Red Dragon Emperor. However, just as he robbed me of my entertainment, he shall repay me with an even greater form of entertainment. He will show me. We shall see if the habituator to the gods will pass his judgment upon the ideals of evil gods he stands to obstruct, or will he instead lose the temperament, restricting from his haunting docile gods into extinction? One way or another, I expect this Red Dragon Emperor of Justice to further expand upon the title of Godslayer. Now, Part 1. Welcome! Hello everyone! Issei here. It's been a short while, maybe a week. Well, it has been for me. I just skipped the details of the week after the Matricide org. But as of right now, I am currently gathered with my group in front of the large, extravagantly designed castle. A familiar castle that I've been once to before. And right in front of this castle, my group, or more accurately, I have been greeted at the courtyard at a large estate by an assemble of what looks like hundreds of servants / maids. That's right. This place where I have been greeted by practically every servant of the estate is none other than the Phoenix Castle. Welcome, Issei. Yes, good day. Thank you for having me. It has been an honor. The person I would personally greeted by with her husband was Lady Phoenix herself, accompanied by her husband Riser. Riser, isn't that okay? Whatever. And even another man I didn't recognize, but assumed to be Roval Phoenix, and greeted by a simultaneously bow by every Phoenix servant lined up behind them. I have come dressed nightly to finally attend a celebration specifically set for Ravel and me. All right, maybe we should head back in a bit of time, just so I can give you the backstory to catch up on how I arrived at this point. Well, let's go back to the time shortly after the match with Cyborg. I'm so exhausted. I let out an unbelievably heavy By the way, this is a flashback. Okay. I let out an unbelievably heavy exhale the moment we appeared in a basement area in front of my house that is usually used for teleporting in and out of the estate. Finally, after 2 whole months, I'm back home. Alright, I'm so tired. I think I'm going to knock out. I gave my arms a quick stretch while holding on to Gasper, who was still sleeping on my back. We've just returned home after the match with Sour Orc. Instead of heading to the Gremory estate as planned, we ended up returning home. Originally, the group was actually going to head there like planned, but we stopped when I said, actually, you guys go on ahead and do what you gotta do. I'm tired, so I think I'm going to head back home. I gotta unpack my stuff that was transported there anyway. Besides, Gasper is sleeping, so I'll take him back home and let him rest there for a bit. After I said that, many of the group members ended up changing their minds. Ravel was obviously set on going wherever I was going, so of course she was already by my side when I said that. Starting with Irina, who had joined us after the game, everybody just decided not to go back to the Gremory. Even my master, who was supposed to go home, she ended up contacting her parents and telling them she wouldn't be returning. Instead, she would be heading back to the human world, to our house. So that's why we're all back home. Our whole group is here, including Kiba and Gasper, since we came straight here. I stepped forward while holding on to Gasper, planning to head upstairs and put him to bed. Even though this isn't where he lives, it's fine to let him stay here. I don't mind having him sleep over at my house for the day. He's tired, after all. He's earned a good rest. I'm gonna go to put Gasper down for rest. After that, I'll go probably unpack my stuff. I announced that mainly to Ravel, who was beside me. Instead, the first one to answer me was Kiba. I can take him back with me, back to our home, Issei. Kiba said that while approaching me, seemingly to take Gasper from me, but I took a step away and he reached out for him. No. Kiba, or more like everybody, was a bit surprised to me back up for him defensively. It was something I did without thinking too deeply about. It's fine. He can stay here for today. He's tired anyway. I don't want him being moved around a lot, and it's for one day, so having him stay over is no big deal. Though I said that, I couldn't deny there was some doubt somewhere in me, maybe somewhere in my heart. A doubt somehow, for whatever reason, I shouldn't necessarily trust anyone with Gasper for right now, when he's the most vulnerable. I don't distrust anyone from my group. It's not like Kiba would ever do anything bad to Gasper, let alone anyone from my group, but I don't know, whatever. I prefer to handle it myself, that's all. Issei-sama, I can unpack your belongings for you if you'd like. Ravel offers me with the almost embarrassed attitude. No, it's okay. I can handle it. I don't want to trouble you again after all this time. Now I've recovered and returned home. I think I shouldn't be relying on you all the time. And if I don't take care of myself, then I will have made no progress, Ravel became dejected after hearing that. Oh, but I feel the happiest when Issei relies on me. She says it with a small voice, while lowering her head just a bit. And even a tint of red on her cheeks. Ooh, damn it, she's so cute, even when she's sad. Man, how am I supposed to say no to such an adorable expression? Well, I guess it's okay. I trust Ravel no matter what. So, it should be fine to let her handle little things. So as long as we both rely on each other equally, then I'm satisfied too. You are my manager after all, so I guess I'll leave it to you. I said that while scratching my cheek awkwardly. Ravel brightened up with a delighted smile and nodded her head. Yes, of course. Up until now, Ravel hadn't smiled so radiantly. She's been acting sheepish ever since the game ended, avoiding eye contact, peeking at me through the corner of her eyes, watching me from behind, twirling her hair when she talks to me, muttering in a low voice when I ask her questions. Well, it's not like I can blame her. I did say that in the middle of the game, in front of everybody. Yeah. It was something it could be interpreted in a few ways, thankfully, but there are still some programs and publications from the underworld that are saying things. I was able to hear it from Zazel on a call on our way home. He called me laughing about one of the few programmees that said, "Cruel irony, the Red Dragon Emperor who interfered with Gremory Phoenix engagement approaches to Phoenix's daughter." Most of the outlets are actually reporting stuff pertaining to the game, especially the majority, which are reporting about the new Red Dragon Emperor of Justice and the Red Dragon Emperor of the People. Depending on your outlook, our publication can be worse than the other. I think it would probably be worse if more of them were reporting on the thing involving Ravel, only because it's deathly embarrassing, but luckily that's not the case, for the most part. Also, I just noticed the atmosphere around here became awkward after my interaction with Ravel. It's been like that since the game too. Now that my internal problem with Rainier is pretty much resolved, I can say the main reason it's so awkward like this because the girls' feelings towards me, the way they feel. Now I think about it, no. It's obvious how the current situation is around me, but I'm not going to address it because it's not my problem. My problems have been resolved. I have more important things to focus on. I see no issues with the current situation. I'm not going to worry myself over things that aren't my fault. Living life by shouldering the burdens of others, living like that, living the way I did, it was just unhealthy. Caring is different from stressing myself out. I can still care just fine, but it isn't my fault. Then I have no reason to eat at my own consciousness for it. I shouldn't blame myself for the mistakes that aren't mine. It's okay to realize that I'm the one who's right sometimes. Real. Like Azazel said, part of being a mature adult is recognizing when you're right and when you're wrong. You shouldn't blame yourself if you're the one who's in the wrong. You shouldn't blame yourself if you're not the one who's in the wrong. Self-deprecation isn't healthy either. I can be right too. I have the right to feel a certain way too. And if something's one thing I can't deny, it's the way they all made me feel that day. I was not the one who was wrong for feeling the way I did. They were the ones who were wrong for making me feel that way because their actions were not justified. They were understandable because they're young, but that doesn't make what they did right. That's why. Well, it doesn't bother me that much anymore. I've forgiven them for it. It's not like I'd ever hate or dislike them for something like that, but in the same sense, I'm not going to break my back over things I shouldn't. All of that aside, I'm actually starving. Now that I think about it, Ravel, I'm kind of hungry. I'll handle unpacking by myself, so you can make me something. As we began walking upstairs as a group, I asked Ravel that casually. Even at the Gagar, she was usually the one who whipped up my meals for me. I did get tired at all the extravagant foods of the Gagar, oddly enough. After all, my big room was connected to a kitchen, go figure. So I just asked her to cook me whenever I get hungry. But apparently there's something weird because everyone in my group was looking at me like I grew horns out of my head. Unlike them, Ravel responded as normally as usual. Of course, Issei-sama, what would you like? I guess anything's fine. Very well. I'll make Issei-sama's favorite today since he worked so hard during the match. We'll also get him some of his favorite cake dessert on the side as a reward. Oh, hell yeah. Ravel's specialty cake. I love her dessert so much. Thanks to her, cake has practically become a favorite food in general. Ravel tilted her head though. But I can also unpack Issei-sama's bags right after. No, you shouldn't. I can't have you making my favorite foods and then packing my bags on top of that too. I should at least handle the bags myself, but I am doing fine with both of them. Issei-sama deserves to rest well after his fight. Come on, they're just bags. It's no big deal. Let's just meet down the middle and say I'll handle the bag and you handle the food, huh? Though I asked that, Ravel gave me more of a serious attitude. Oh, I know that face. It's the serious expression she gives when she's trying to advise me about things, mainly related to my safety. Ravel wagged her finger in the air, holding her on her hip. Her attitude seemed informative. Now, Issei-sama, Azazel-sensei and I've already told you enough about pushing yourself. You have a rigorous match of Sire Org and your stamina is most likely well depleted. The only thing you should be doing now is resting. That being said, making some food and unpacking some bags is not an arduous task. As your manager, I should have every capability to handle menial jobs by myself, especially when you need it the most. At times like these, now please go lie down and rest. I will have your food shortly. I was left speechless as her light scolding, I guess. Well, you can't even call it scolding since she wasn't mad at all or acting very sternly. She was just saying things for my own good with almost motherly, unguardedly-like attitude. Have nothing to say? I couldn't help but smile weirdly. You'd really make a good mom, huh, Ravel? Even though I said that in kind of an amused manner, Ravel's entire head exploded with red steam and her eyes turned into spirals. What? You say something like that? My heart is not prepared. Please allow me time to prepare myself first. At the very least, please wait until we have graduated. Being who I am now, a more matured version of myself who is fully aware of the girls around me and their feelings, including Ravel, I, of course, realized the implication of what I said and immediately turned red. No, wait, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way. I said it wrong. I worded myself incorrectly. I didn't intend to sort any deeper meaning by that. I was just saying what I was thinking. But that doesn't mean I don't think you wouldn't be a good mother. I think you'd be a great mother. In fact, it would be awesome to have you as a mother of my child. Naturally, I made it worse. I'll leave the food unpacking to you. I immediately turned back and sprinted away in embarrassment while holding myself onto Gasper. I ran away so fast there wasn't even a chance for Ravel to respond to me, and I ended up unconsciously taking the stairs up instead of the elevator. I chastited myself in my own mind. Oh my god, I want to die so bad. Please kill me. How am I supposed to confess when stuff like this happens? Cyborg, at this rate, my confession is going to fail. Is Issei-senpai? Gasper, who was practically bouncing off my back, ate up the stairs and stirred a bit in his sleep. Don't worry, Gasper. Nothing to worry about here. Just go back to sleep. Though I was running and laughing like I was dying from embarrassment, Gasper seemingly fell back to sleep after my words. Meanwhile, I was still frustrated with my failure. Damn it, the way I am now. The road to my confession is likely not a long one, but definitely a difficult one. Now, part 2. Issei-sama, your food is ready. While I was sitting down by my bedside, with Gasper cutely sleeping in a fetal position in the middle. Sus. I heard Ravel calling me down to the floor. It looks like my food is ready. I got up from my bed and made my way out of the room. Even though I said that I would leave unpacking to Ravel, I ended up doing myself anyway. Besides, I really only said it out of embarrassment and trying to get out of the situation. I still feel bad for relying on Ravel after coming back supposedly having recovered. I mean, aren't I supposed to be taking care of her now? I've made my promise. I have to keep it. If there's any promises I gotta keep, it's that one. I finally made my way down the stairs into the main area of the main floor. Everyone seems to be here. Even Kiba's still stuck around, huh? Looks like they've noticed me. I guess it's time to take... I guess it's gonna take a little time before they get used to having me around again, since they keep staring. Ravel approached me with an apron on. Your food is ready. You say some of the cake is baking right now. Thanks, Ravel. Even though I answered normally, Ravel raised a brow at me. What is it? For some reason, she looked at me like she knew something. She hummed a little bit before heading towards the stairway. Well, I go unpack your belongings now. I was about to call out to Ravel, but I stopped myself. Unfortunately, that was enough to make Ravel sigh and turn back around. She looked at me with a blank face. As I thought, you already unpacked your bags, didn't you, Issei-sama? Ravel was going to give me a very motherly attitude again. I scratched the back of my head. Yeah, sorry. As much as I wanted to sound cool by using an excuse, I still wanted to take care of her or something. I couldn't. There's Ravel's signature reading skill that she's able to use against me. She can always tell if I'm hiding something or whatever I'm thinking in general. I don't know Ravel's side again. Well, there's no helping it. I suppose I'll just take care of the cake then. I'm off the hook. Not like she would scold me or anything, but I don't like to make Ravel feel any kind of bad. After that, I went to the large dining table and began eating a beautiful assemble of food set before with me without hesitation. Ravel's home-cooked meals. No matter how many times I have it, it's so good. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Because of how enthralled I am with the feast, I failed to realize how violently I scarfed down my food. Issei-sama, you mustn't eat so rambunctiously. Ravel lightly reminded me that wiping the side of my mouth with a napkin. Looks like my face was dirty, huh? Sorry. I apologize for having a mouthful, to which Ravel handed me a drink. Here you are. I used the drink to swallow my food smoothly. So good. Ravel's cooking really is the best. I'm glad you like it. I'm happy to make it. Here, there's still some sauce on your lip. While Ravel wiped my mouth, we heard a ding from the oven. Ding! That is your cake. Hold on. I'll have to cut it out. I'll have to have it out by the time you finished your meal. Make sure to keep yourself clean, Issei-sama. Yes, ma'am. I gave Ravel a playful salute before continuing to eat. I could feel an uncomfortable amount of attention on me. When I looked around, everybody was staring at me from their different places in the living area. I wiped my mouth and decided to pay no mind to it. In fact, the rest of the day went a bit like that. After having all my stuff unpacked, I realized there were clothes on mine that have to wash. Seeing I got to keep the Blacker Guard uniform gifted to me by Azazel, I wanted to wash that too. Problem was that I was wearing it, and that also made me realize not only how dirty my clothes were, but also how dirty I was. I needed a bath. So, of course, I decided to take a bath after my meal and dessert. Hey, Ravel, I'm pretty dirty, so I'm going to head to take a bath. I announced that to Ravel was cleaning up my dishes. Of course, Issei-sama, even though they should be mostly healed, please be mindful of your wounds. Leave the dishes to me. Yeah, thanks. Of course. As much as I wanted to say sorry, I refrained. No need to say sorry. It's just better to be thankful. I also wanted to say something else after that, but that's something only a person who is in a special relationship would say. Anyway, I quickly made my way to the lower floors where the baths were located. It's been a while since I've taken a bath that wasn't personalized for just one person. I'm remembering there was once a time. Ravel came into the bath with me, the Gregar. Wasting no time making it into the bath area, I removed my clothing and went to the bath. I turned to one of the shower heads to give myself a rinse. After that, I turned off and began washing my body. Home sweet home. Well, Gregor wasn't bad at all either. While washing myself, I began thinking back to everything that's happened. Holy shit. Now I think about it, I just went through a lot, huh? That day in the clubroom happened, went to the Gregor, I fought the linear Hydra, I fought a stone golem, I faced a completion of unique trials, I learned to tame my perversion a bit, I trained my mind a little bit, but I surprisingly became a lot stronger, and most of all, Ravel. Well, there's not much I could say of her except actually a lot. I could probably talk about her for hours. I could probably think about her for hours. It's so odd thinking back to what I went through. Even though there was so much hardship and trials, I still don't regret it at all. I feel like I've gained way more than I've lost. I would do it all over again. After all, when I think about it, Ravel? After seeing the confirming image in my head, I sighed deeply. Huh? What should I do? I'm lost. I still have no idea how I'm going to confess. I have no idea what I'm going to do it, when I'm going to do it, or how I'm going to do it. I mean, I have to make it special, right? I can't just do it willy-nilly. Ravel deserves much better than that. It should be like an event or something, right? Something that she'll always remember. Come on, brain, you're creative. Sometimes think of something. Well, she's kind of like a princess, so maybe something related to fairy tales. Come on, think. I let out a heavy exhale and becoming exhausted from thinking too hard, but there's a part of my brain that have not been trained enough. Damn it. Speaking of confessions, I just noticed, but there's a target my confession has changed, hasn't it? Before all this happened, the person that was my original prospect I looked down to the left palm of my hand. Guess I really have changed. Every time I think about my previous prospect, every time I think about the person I was yearning for previously, I keep getting this sympathetic but nostalgic feeling. How odd. I don't know how to describe it, but all I know is that the person who I yearn for is no longer the same. Razbulito. I was lost in my thoughts. Drake randomly said that. Razbulito. When I was lost in my thoughts, Drake randomly said that. What's up, Drake? The thing you said. What was that? Yes, that. Do not mind it. It's nothing to concern yourself with. Okay, weirdo. Well, anyway, thanks. Thinking back to Ravel again, the way our relationship has certainly changed from the beginning. Drastically, we've gotten unbelievably close. Probably the closest I've ever been with anyone. Honestly, it has to be. There's nobody who knows that many of my secrets, and probably not anybody who knows that much about Ravel as I do. I'm not sure, but I do feel that way somehow. So our relationship based on how we act around each other is, now that I think about it, Ravel acts like my wife or something, doesn't she? Just kidding. At that moment, I heard splashing from behind. Splash, splash. Huh? I turned my head back after hearing multiple splashes. When I looked, I realized the majority of the girls in the group were gathered in around a large pool-like bath. I turned back around after seeing them. What are they doing there? They're here to take a bath all at the same time? Somehow, I get a distinct feeling this isn't some coincidence. Regardless, I decided it was none of my business and continued washing my body. After a few seconds, someone came up to the spot next to me on my right, began washing their body as well. It's Konako. She said nothing, of course. To be fair, I didn't look at her and I saw no reason to interact. It's a bath. Of course we mind our own business. Although, I can't say it's not awkward. The entire atmosphere on this floor feels awkward. I mean, I don't feel awkward since I see no reason to, but I can definitely feel the attitudes of everyone around me being awkward. Issei-kun? I heard someone call out to me. When I looked over, there was someone on the spot besides Konako. Further down the right, it's Irina. What's up, Irina? Irina held up a wash rag and gave an awkward smile. You want me to wash your back? She asked me awkwardly, Wash my back? She's asking me that? Irina of all people? Not sure if she was just messing with me, but Irina's not one to tease. She's a pure angel, after all. No, thanks. I can wash it myself. I casually declined her offer, still wondering if it was a serious offer. She gave an equally awkward laugh. Yeah, right. I was just joking. She kind of put her strength in her place. Doesn't seem like a joke based off your attitude. Then again, it's weird you even asked me, since Irina isn't the one to do that. Shadun. Well, I just finished my awkward interaction with Irina. Someone hastily opened the entrance to the bathroom and ran in. Issei-sama, I am here. Whoa, it's Ravel. Ravel, why are you here? I was surprised to see Ravel come into the bathhouse in a rush. Before she came in, the atmosphere was just slightly awkward, but now it's unbelievably uncomfortable. She was already naked and wrapped in a towel. with that attitude, seemed like she was preparing herself for something. Could it be? Well, as something becoming red in the face, Ravel took a deep breath and crossed her arms confidently. I have come to fulfill your duty as your manager. Therefore, I will wash your back. She announces that to me, just as I suspected. So she did come into that after all. We're doing this again? Wait, my heart is not prepared. I just indirectly confessed, and now this? I'm not ready. Oh, but even though I said that, I should be taking responsibility, shouldn't I? Come on, Issei Hyodo, you're a man, aren't you? Can't you take responsibility for your own actions? You can challenge gods, but not the charm of a woman? Come on, what was all that confidence training for? This is the body of the god-killing Red Dragon Emperor, isn't it? That's a woman you're gunning for, isn't it? If both of these things are true, with some damn guts, and do what you gotta do. It's not like you're confessing right here anyway. So just show that you're not a wuss. Come on. I cleared my throat and sat up straight and gathered my confidence. Right. While keeping a cool posture and pointed my thumb to my back and asked formally as I could, Ravel, please wash my back. I said it. Holy that's embarrassing or what? Sometimes acting cool is worse than acting stupid. But it worked. Ravel looked surprised for a moment, but then she nodded firmly with a red face. Yes, Issei-sama, without hesitation. Ravel ran up to my back and sat down to wash it. I will begin now. Yeah, with that, Ravel began washing my back. Is it good, Issei-sama? Yeah, thanks. Even though the atmosphere surrounding me and Ravel was warm, I could feel the atmosphere outside of us to be cold. Ice cold. Everyone was staring at us intently. All eyes were on us. I can feel the urge to ask why they're staring at us, but the answer is obvious, isn't it? Rather than being worried about it, I was more focused on keeping my cool while Ravel washed me. Come on, stay cool. She's done this before. Don't focus on everyone staring at you. Just focus on Ravel. She's washing your back. She's using her soft, delicate, beautiful hands and rubbing them all over my back. Softly, gently, soft hands. I've held hands with her before. It was so calming. If those hands were to touch me somewhere else, bro, lock in. I felt the towel resting on my lower half rise up slightly. Whoa, down, boy. Okay, let's try to think about that again. Issei-sama, I am finished. I was snapped out of my suspicious thoughts by Ravel. Oh, she's done. Okay, then. Would you like me to continue with the front? Ravel asked that using her confidence. Even though she looked extremely embarrassed, my face went red with the question, but I tried my best to keep calm. No, thank you. I can handle myself. But I brought up my own wash rag with a casual smile, ignoring the redness on my face. How about I wash Ravel's back since you washed mine? I'd like to wash yours too. Ravel waved her hands frantically in embarrassment. No, that's all right. No, I mean, is just the physical contact is enough. I am satisfied with this. Issei-sama doesn't have to do it. I am fine doing it myself, so Issei-sama doesn't have to if he doesn't want to. I don't have to if I don't want to, but I do want to. I seriously do. There's nothing more than I'd want to wash Ravel's back and make eye contact with her soft skin. I just can't say it out loud because I'm a wuss. Come on, Issei Hyodo, remember what your sensei taught you. If you can express your confidence in words, then show it in your actions. In other words, take an initiative, shithead. Ravel? Yes? Ravel pushed at my collar, removed myself from my place, and left it open for Ravel to sit on. Please let me wash your back. I asked seriously as if it was a life or death situation. Ravel's head burnt up red. Her eyes darted around the entire bathhouse, almost like she was worried about what the others would think. But after a few seconds, she vigorously nodded her head. Yes, of course. Go ahead. She hopped into my previous spot with a stiff posture. It's obvious how terribly nervous she is, although that is a cute point. That's one of her cute points. Okay, I'm going to start. Yes. While preparing myself mentally, I began washing Ravel's back. I could literally feel people focused on me, or rather the two of us intently. Ravel's skin is so soft. It's not hard to get hard when touching it, or more like it's impossible. I can actually feel it right now. I can feel little Issei physically betraying me from under my towel. Don't do this to me, man. Come on. We go way back, don't we? Don't turn your back on me now. Dude. What is this, bro? While I washing Ravel's back, I could feel one of the two girls on our right was closely staring at me. They are. Irina and Konako were both staring at me. I could see it clearly from my peripheral vision, but their eyes are directed towards oh no, the towel on my lower half is obviously pronounced a shape under it. It looks like the towel is being lifted up slightly. No, Mini Issei, why are you doing this to me? It's this payback for all the rough treatment I've given you over the years? This is cruel punishment. It's okay, Issei, just don't look at them. Don't make eye contact. Pretend if it isn't. I'm sure it'll go away, I hope. So, Issei, it looks like you're washing backs now, so then I'd like to have My turn next, if you don't mind. Out of nowhere, my master Rias sat down at the spot to the left of us. I just noticed a bit of hesitation when she did it. But more than that, hey, isn't she acting normal again? That sounded like something that the usual Rias would say. That's right, I call her Rias now. Considering that I no longer have the fear of being hated for it, I've decided to call her by name. I mean, if they didn't hate me for everything that happened already, which wasn't even my fault anyway, then why would she hate me calling by her name now? Even if she does, well, what can you do? Anyway, I only call her by a personal reference to her. Out loud, I'd rather call her Master, since it's more proper to refer to her that way, and I'll call her President only at school from now on. Anyway, though I can tell that there is a subtle awkwardness to her attitude, she seems to be acting fairly normal. Speaking of acting normal, oh, Rias, that's not how you should ask. You should offer to wash his back first, like Ravel. Issei, maybe I should watch your back next time, and afterward you'll wash mine. Oh, Akano can also come to the side next to Rias and sat down while saying that. Looks like she's back to normal too. Guess it took a little time before they could adjust, huh? Well, everything's back to the way it was, I guess. Almost everything. I shook off my thoughts and gave them a casual smile. Thanks, Akano, but that's alright. You don't have to worry about that. I can wash my body myself. When I said that, all of the girls around looked at me dubiously. They looked at me like I was not only saying weird things, but also acting weird as well. What? Is it because I'm washing Ravel's back after letting her wash mine? That's because she's Ravel. You know, we're used to it. At this point, even though we've only done it once before, it feels more like we're close that we've done it a couple times before. Akano was the first to point it out to me. Issei-kun, Akano? John, is that possibly your new nickname for me? Akano smiled with her hand against her cheek. Nickname? No. Well, it's not really a nickname. Sorry. That was disrespectful, wasn't it? You are my senpai, so I guess it should be Akano-san after all. Even though I said that, Akano smiled and shook her head. No, it's fine. In fact, I'm flattered. I get my own personal nickname from Issei. I'm so happy. Akano had a glowing expression as if she was truly delighted. Oh, so that made her happy. I guess that makes sense. It must make her feel special. Well, to be honest, the reason I've been calling her that is because Barkyul-san, her father, ever since I started having conversations with him, he would always tell me stories of Akano-chan as a child of the past. He would call her Akano-chan while telling those stories as if he was referring to a baby girl. Well, to be fair, he was. However, because of that, I almost ended up being caught up in the trend, since we talk about it a lot, and I would ask him lots of questions regarding it. I also end up calling her Akano-chan over and over again. Next thing you know, I became more accustomed to it than the old way. Maybe because I wasn't interacting with her for a couple of months and there was a disconnection, but that's how it ended up, huh? So I was even calling her that now. I must have been doing it without noticing it then. Well, it feels right to call her that for some reason. Issei, you may also call me by my nickname, if you like, you know. Huh? Rias said that while washing her hair sheepishly. A nickname for Rias. I scratched my cheek and raised a brow. No, well, we're at home. I can just call you Rias, right? At that moment, it felt like the atmosphere froze into thick ice and subsequently cracked. Issei, what did you just say? Rias looking at me with the widest eye. Everyone else was giving me a similar expressions of shock and awe. What did I do? Issei, can he just... Issei-senpai, Issei-kun. The other three girls were whispering some sort of surprise. Despite becoming more knowledgeable about things, I still don't understand the situation. What's going on? Issei, I'm so happy. Finally, you... Rias was covering her mouth as tears fell from her eyes. Tears of joy? What? I don't understand. Why is she crying? Did I do something significant? Profound? Not comprehending the atmosphere, I whispered into Ravel's shoulder. Ravel-san, I'm quite confused. Would you kindly fill me in on the situation? Ravel had conflicted expression on her face, as if she knew something, but didn't know whether she should tell me or not. Issei-sama, she only muttered to herself. What? It's something she debates telling me about. No way. Ravel tells me everything. If she's not telling me something, it's probably for my own good. Look, wouldn't this be better for me to know? Look, I understand that she has feelings for me, I think. That's something, it takes a lot to admit that, but Zazel and I worked on it a lot. I know, I understand it now. That the idea is clear in my head, even though this doesn't make sense. Why is she so happy about me saying her name? Because it feels like we're closer? I mean, I guess I understand that, but tears of joy over it? Moreover, finally, what does she mean finally? At first, I called her president because she instructed me to, but as time passed, it became sort of like an excuse for me and my trauma. But that's my problem. What does that have to do with her? She's happy because I overcame my trauma and she cries? That seems a little too far-fetched. She didn't even know about my trauma, right? So why the hell... She's this happy that I said her name, but why? What the I seriously don't get it at all. All I did was say her name. Why does this matter to her so much that was when it all hit me, all at once. The pieces began to fall together. My memories brought back the mystery to its conclusion. Yet I still called her president. This is like a flashback. I want someone to love me for Rias, not for Rias Gremory of the household, nor as high-class arbitress, just Rias. I am the one who is the furthest behind. Baka, even now, you would still call the woman you were about to make love to President? Issei, what am I to you? I slowly picked myself up from the spot without speaking. Issei-sama, I handed Ravel the wash rag I was using to her. I'm sorry, Ravel. I'm done, so I'll be heading out now. That was all I said, turning around and walking away. Issei-sama? I didn't acknowledge her confusion, and simply made my way out of the bathhouse, ignoring all of the others on the way out. Around 10 minutes passed since then. I was in my room again. Gasper still turned out to be sleeping here. It's only been a couple hours since we've returned home, so it's fine to let him sleep here. It's looking more like he'll even end up staying over, since it's already late at night. But I was less concerned with him and more concerned with myself, or rather, with the new epiphany that has become apparent to me. That's what it was? All of this time, this whole situation, all of the mental and emotional turmoil that I experienced, all of the hardships I faced, my struggles, everything, all of it, it was all because I didn't say her name? Oh my God. I placed my hand on one of my couches in my room to balance myself, and held my head on my other hand. I felt lightheaded. I felt almost out of breath, and most of all, I felt like I was gradually losing my mind. My thoughts began clashing with my mind. Are you fucking kidding me? This isn't... Ravel called out to me from behind. Seemingly, Issei-sama? Ravel called out to me from behind, seemingly have entered the room without me noticing. It's not fair. Issei-sama? Ravel placed a hand on my back softly. I could feel some stress being relieved just from her gentle touch. Are you alright, Issei-sama? Yeah, I'm fine. I just... yeah. Issei-sama. I'm okay. I just need to think for a little while. Please leave me be, just for a bit. With a bit of hesitation, Ravel removed her hand from my back and agreed. Yes, Issei-sama. Ravel stepped away from me and towards the door, planning to head out of the room. She paused before leaving. Are you sure you're all right, Issei-sama? She asked me again with uncertainty. Ravel always had a knack for knowing how I felt. Whether it was through my voice, body language, facial expressions, or speech, she always knows, but judging from her attitude, this time she is unsure. Something that only happens when my emotional state or mental state is too complex of a conflict for her to interpret. Yeah, I'm okay. You are not angry? Angry? No, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Very well. With that, Ravel exited the room as quietly as she entered. I was left alone with my thoughts again. Angry? Why would I be angry? Should I be angry? Partner. Hey, Drake, do you think I should be angry? I do not know, partner. Drake, have I gone crazy? I'm afraid that I don't know what constitute as crazy, partner. You know what I mean. No, you haven't. Though I will say that, since your return from the seventh blood dimension, there has been a piece of your mind that was affected by its influence. Suffice to say, there is a possibility, a hint of what you call madness somewhere within you. Of course. Do not worry, partner. When this situation had first come to be, you had a similar episode, didn't you? This is most likely nothing more than an aftershock to that. Considering you had a similarly internal conflict, you will be alright. You are alright. Yeah, I know. I always am. After being left alone in my room with the sleeping Gasper, I gradually recovered from my little episode. By this time, it was already time to head to bed. I decided I would take Gasper to one of the extra rooms to sleep and ended up running into Kiba and everybody else heading to their rooms. Kiba said he'd take Gasper to one of the extra rooms since he decided they'd stay overnight after all. I was hesitant, but I still let him take Gasper to one of the extra rooms, though I did unconsciously keep my gaze locked onto him until they entered the room. Then everybody else who lives with me began to head off with their own rooms. Looking at how it was, everything seems to be back to normal. Rias and Azia were also heading off in the same direction as me. However, my attention was caught by the fact that Ravel was heading off in the opposite direction of us for some reason. I called out to her, "Oh, Ravel." Ravel stopped in her tracks and turned around. What is it, Issei-sama? Where are you going? Ravel tilted her head cutely at me. Whatever do you mean? I'm heading off to bed, just as we all are. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I forget to say goodnight? A bunch of question marks popped over my head as I furrowed my brows in confusion. Huh? I pointed towards the direction Rias, Azia, and I were headed in. What? What are you on about? The room is this way. It was dead silent at my statement. What? Why are you staring at me like that? What do I look like? A ghost? After what felt like 5 whole minutes of silence, Ravel's face gradually became redder and redder until it looked like it was a tomato. With a shaky voice, some steam from her head, and she slowly approached us. Yes, Issei-sama. Okay. While trying to ignore the awkward atmosphere, I made my way to my room accompanied by 3 girls, though there was an obvious pause from Azia and Rias. When we made it to the room, Rias began undressing immediately. She was followed, of course, by Azia. It was practically second nature to them. Ravel was shocked and was embarrassed by it, but it hardly bothered me. After that, we brushed our teeth like usual and head off to sleep. But I told the girls to go to bed before me, since I wanted to wash my face in the bathroom. Ravel instantly knew that there was something up and tried to use washing her own face as an excuse to ask me in the bathroom, but I told her she didn't need to because she was always beautiful. Even though it was something that would usually make her feel embarrassed, she was able to get the message and went up to bed without me. As I thought, Ravel knows me the best. I splashed some water in my face to cool myself down. I let out a heavy sigh. No matter how hard I try, I still get those lingering thoughts out of my head. I looked at myself in the mirror with a feeling of deep-seated humiliation. Drake, do you remember those times when I thought about how stupid I looked in hindsight? About all those times I made a fool of myself in front of everyone without even knowing it, wondering if they were all laughing at me. Yes, partner. In that case, how stupid do you think I look now? Silence. I let out another heavy sigh while looking into my eyes through my reflection. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Now we're with Rias, and this is Rias' thoughts. It has been 15 minutes since Issei has entered the bathroom alone. He said he was going to wash his face, but I began to feel worried at how long he was staying in there. He has been acting differently since we returned, or rather, since before the game. It's obvious he has gone through some changes, but he called me Rias. He called me by my name. Finally, after waiting for so long, I was finally referred to more than just a title. During the game, he referred to me as nothing but master, something that would begin to linger on my consciousness, but then again, he finally said it. I was so happy that I couldn't help but cry in the middle of a bath. My heart was overflowing with joy and relief. Even though I had become less worried, he had said he'd have forgiven us after the game, there was still a shred of doubtful fear in my heart. But after hearing him say that, I no longer had any doubts. My heart was filled with relief. Now the feeling I have his desire to give him my affection. It's been so long since I held him in my arms, so long he has touched my skin, so long since I've smelled his scent across his hair. At this point, I can't help but yearn for him, now that he is so close to me again. I heard the door to the bathroom open as Issei exited. I could feel myself becoming relentless. Knowing he was soon to be sitting right next to me, I already wanted to hold him tightly. I felt his weight pressed down on the bed near me. However, he didn't lie in a space left between Azia and I like usual. Instead, he was sleeping behind me for some reason. Considering that Azia is already sleeping, I shifted my body over towards Issei to hold him, but that spot beside me was empty. I opened my eyes to check, and when looking, I noticed that there was a gap between Issei and I. Of course, I brought myself closer to him so I could wrap my arms around him. Then I realized Issei was sleeping comfortably while embracing Ravel. It's nothing. Thinking of it, if that was the case, then I wrapped my body around Issei's backside and drifted off to sleep while embracing him. Now, back with Kiba. I woke up to an unfamiliar room on a large bed. That's right. We've stayed over at Issei's house yesterday. We were so tired that we decided to stay here for the night. Speaking of which, Gasper is not here. Did he leave already? I wouldn't see why he would leave without telling me. Perhaps he just woke up to eat. I decided to get up and possibly look for Gasper so that we can return home. After exiting the room, I ran into a couple other club members who lived there. Irina, Zenobia, Konako, Akano, and even Rias and Azia a couple of floors down, but no Ravel, Issei, or Ross Visa. Heading down to the main floor, we could hear some noise coming from downstairs. There was a smell of cooking. It could be only assumed that Ravel and Ross Visa were cooking. Those suspicions were confirmed when reaching the bottom floor. We also found Issei and Gasper. They were... Oh, Gasper, come on. If you don't speed up, you're going to lose, you know. Yeah, please slow down, Issei-senpai. Ha, my body is still exhausted from yesterday. No can do, buddy. Being a man is all about breaking your limits. If you feel exhausted from yesterday, then blast the exhaustion using your morning exercises. That's what being a warrior is all about. That isn't healthy. I will no longer be able to walk. Don't worry. If you collapse, I'll make sure to carry you around everywhere you need to go. You can rely on Senpai. That's embarrassing. While heaving violently, Gasper whined and Issei encouraged him. They were both playing video games together. Except the game they were playing is a physical game, a game about dancing. That's why Issei and Gasper are both performing complex dance movements in front of a flat-screen TV at different paces, with Issei being precise and enthusiastic, and Gasper being covered in sweat and struggling to keep up. I had a difficult time processing the scene before me. So they're playing some games, so that's good, I suppose. At the very least, it looks like they've become much closer than before. Now, with Issei. It's been a few days since the match with Sire Org happened. I haven't returned to school yet because my body was super overcome with fatigue after using the Triana, unlocking the new Queen mode, and channeling a power-up Atlas multiple times. Despite that, I've tried doing light exercises, to which Ravel immediately knows and lightly scolds me for it. How the hell can she tell I've done one push-up? She can read me so well. It's like a psychic. Well, for me, that's part of her charm. Anyway, I'll be returning to school not too soon, since we have the next few days off, but for some reason, Ravel seems to be acting like something just happened. I asked Ravel, who was pacing around different parts of the main floor. Hey Ravel, what's up? You seem, jittery. Ravel stopped and answered me with distressed attitude. Issei-sama. No, I'm sorry. It's just, I received a contract from Oni-sama. Riser, what's up? Is there something you're going on at home? Well, actually, he suggested that you contacted him yourself. It seems he wants to speak with you. Riser wants to talk to me? That's odd. For what reason? It could be he wants to tell you about the whole celebration thing. Yes, it's exactly about that. Oh, well, why didn't you say so earlier? I'll go call him. I started to make my way upstairs to go to the card that Riser gave me to contact him. Ravel interjected before I left. Wait, Issei-sama. I turned my back at her call. She was twiddling her fingers in a nervous attitude with a red tint on her cheek. She avoided eye contact with me. You don't have to if you don't want to attend. You don't have to. You have no obligation to. The way Ravel said that, it's almost like she's ashamed of herself, or rather her expression, like it looks like it's saying, I'm sorry you have to deal with my problems. Ravel looked up to me worriedly. I just gave her a soft smile. I want to. Her face gradually became less worried and grew a bit more red instead. Okay. With that, I continued up the stairs and made it to my room. Looking through one of the drawers, I quickly found a card I was looking for. Here it is. I brought out a card and used my demonic powers formula on the card needed to create a magic communication circle for contacting Riser. If only he had given me a personal number of some sort, this would be easier. But it isn't technically more personal because there are probably times he doesn't give his cell phone around, and this communication circle is something that will always reach him directly. Anyway, after a few moments, the communication circle connected to someone. What? Who is it? He answered a pretty rude way. Hey, Riser, it's Issei. Riser looked up at the image as if he noticed me. It's you. Took you long enough. He always says if he was expecting me to be a caller, but he doesn't even seem the least bit surprised. Moreover, did you just tell me to call you? Yeah, I'm calling to ask about the celebration. Riser gives a sigh before waving his hand around. Yeah, I know. So are you coming or what? Yeah, I would like to. I mean, yes, I want to attend. Is that so? Alright, good. Ravel already has the details. It's tomorrow, so be ready. She'll let you know the rest. Okay, wait, that's it? That's all? Yeah, that's it. I just told him to confirm your attendance. There's nothing more than a formality. It's usually done this way between fellow kings, and their servants are usually the ones who give the details. Kings? But I'm not a king yet. Also, servants? Yeah, whatever. Just make sure you show up. I mean, of course I will. Good to see you then. Or whatever. Yeah, thanks. With that awkward interaction ended, he cut off the communication between us. He could be more polite, geez. More than that, that was an extremely short exchange. I was expecting way more complicated things to be said, but in the end, I just confirmed what it was. He mentioned servants when talking about information. Speaking of servants, that makes me think about Ravel. Last I heard, Ravel is a free bush-up held by her mother. Lady Phoenix told us that when we talked in the club room that day, she mentioned it randomly with no further context, and she asked me to take care of Ravel, and... Wait, it just hit me. All this time, I was considering the idea of Ravel possibly being one of my future servants, but was still unsure as how I was able to bring it to Lady Phoenix. However, if I were to think about it in hindsight, it's clear to me that she already approved of it. Without me knowing, she told it to my face that it was okay. A blit. She didn't exactly say it directly, but she implied it heavily. If that's the case, then one of my minor aspirations has achieved already. No, wait. Don't get it too excited just yet. Remember what you've learned about high society. Formalities are something that matter a lot. That's why it's even necessary for Riser to confirm my attendance, even though it seems somewhat unnecessary. The appearance is important. That's why, when I attend the celebration at Phoenix Castle, I'll have to personally and properly ask Lady Phoenix to agree to trade bishop pieces with me when I become king. And even though she'll most likely say yes, it's something important enough to make me nervous. Okay. It looks like just attending the celebration won't be my only worry. I'll have to think about asking for Ravel's piece as well. I'll have to do it as respectfully and properly as I can. This is important. I can't mess it up. I just wonder what Ravel will think. Hold on. I just remembered something. I suddenly realized in something and brought out my cell phone. I made a call to a certain mischievous sensei. Issei, what is it? Yeah, Azazel. You told me to call you when I found out the Phoenix event. Apparently it's going to be tomorrow. I'll be attending, so I just wanted to let you know. Great. Thanks for letting me know. You have the next few days off, right? Yeah, a short break. Why? All right, that's perfect. It's all lined up quite nicely. This may seem sudden to say, but after you return from the celebration, you'll have to take care of a few temporary guests at your home. Wait, what? Guess. Oi, sneaky sensei, what do you mean by guess? Oh, don't worry about it. They're familiar faces. You'll be happy to see them. Trust me. No, wait, hold on. What are you planning? You pigeon of mischief. You definitely are thinking of doing something unpleasant. Oh, Issei, a pigeon is not a crow, you know. You're not denying that it's unpleasant. Oh no, I'm sure you'll find it pleasant. I already told you it would make you happy, right? Trust me, it's not anything unpleasant. You would already like these people well enough. Okay, I trust you. You shouldn't. Wait, what? Till later, Azazel abruptly hung up, cutting our conversation short. This sensei, he's going to be the death of me, mark my words. Well, at least they're familiar faces, so I'll know who they are, hopefully. Now we're with Kiba. Are you heading out somewhere, Gasper? I asked Gasper, who was dressed up and seemed to have leaving our home. Yes, I am going to Issei's house. We are going to the mall complex today. You're going out somewhere with Issei? Again? You two have been hanging out together quite often, haven't you? It's only been around a week since the raiding game against Sour Org, and yet ever since then, Issei and Gasper have hung out together almost every day. Issei has had the past days off due to the state of his body, but the rest of us haven't. We've still been attending school. Despite that, Gasper still heads out and hangs out with Issei whenever he's free. Or rather, it seems like Issei invites him over to go somewhere pretty much every day. Gasper rubs his fingers together bashfully, but his expression is happy. Yeah, we have. I have a lot of fun being with Senpai. I never thought that he would be asking me to go places with him like this. We spent time together and talk a lot. It makes me happy. Yeah. It does look like you become closer as friends. Yes, Gasper smiled joyfully. He truly looked happy to have become close with Issei. Considering how much he looks up to Issei, I'm not surprised. It's practically like they are best friends now. Looking over the sofa I was sitting, I noticed something significant about Gasper's attire. Gasper, are you wearing pants? That's right, looking closely, Gasper was certainly wearing pants. Not a skirt like usual, but pants. Yes, that's right, I decided to wear this for today, well, because Senpai told me if I wanted to become more manly that he would help me. So he said that to become more manly, I should focus on starting with the smaller things. Little by little, he said, so that's why I decided to wear this, though they're still women's pants, but little by little, right? Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. Good luck, Gasper. Well done. Yes, thank you. I will be leaving now. So, I have a good trip. Yes. Gasper was goodbye and left after saying, I was left alone with my thoughts. It's good Gasper and Issei have become close, isn't it? I said no one that but myself. Even though everyone seems to be acting normal, even though everything seems to have gone back to normal, I still have my doubts. The other day we stayed over, I noticed something. When Rias asked Issei if she washes clothes, he said, no thanks, Rias. I'll take care of it. That was something that shocked me, yet for some reason, Rias and the other girls seemingly paid no mind to it. Did something the night before when they were all together in the bathhouse, was it something good? Yes, it had to be. A development like that had been a result of something positive, right? Despite believing that it was a good thing, just based off my own deduction, I couldn't ignore the subconscious feeling that it was somehow not good. Or rather, I had the instinct that it was somehow not good enough. Not to mention, just a bit later, Ravel approached Issei about his laundry. I'll take care of that for you, Issei. Oh, yeah, thanks. He accepted her offer without hesitation, despite the fact that he told Rias he would handle it himself. He accepted Ravel's offer as it was something he used to do, or something that he's used to. And no one else noticed. They were seemingly in content moods. It was like all their previous worries had been laid to rest. Meanwhile, I was the only one left wondering about it. Am I the only one who noticed that he was casually reading various books on different mythologies, almost like he was studying them? Am I the only one who noticed that he didn't bat an eye when Rias and Akano were walking around in revealing clothing? Am I the only one who noticed that there were times he would almost flirt with Ravel, complimenting her looks at certain times, even briefly hugging her, and no one was looking? Am I really the only one who noticed all of that? Or is every one of the girls all cursed with their foolish hearts? No, I'm overthinking it. I decided to ignore my possibly negative thoughts and distract myself with some television. Surely I'm just being paranoid. Now we're with Azazel. Azazel, how are things over there? Sir Zax, it's you. Yeah, everything's fine here. Things have finally calmed down. All the brats have gone back to acting normal again. Is that so? You sound worried. I don't blame you. Now, there is a certain interpretation to the boy's words going around. I'm sure problems have arisen on your side, right? What are you going to do? Surely something has been stirred up by his confession within the family, I mean. Yes, it has. My parents have gained doubts. The only thing I can do as of now is to try to ease their worries. Hopefully, they'll not think very much of it, but yes, that may be difficult. He is going to be attending a private celebration at Phoenix. After all, I'd imagine there are going to be many red flags set around everything he does from now on. Yes, that's true. I'll try to appease those family members of mine. At least possibility of a repeat of the Riser situation, but a different individual instead. Well, good luck with that. I've got to get this new system of yokai finished as soon as possible. Tomorrow will be the last day I have to work on it, since the visit will all be the next day. My poor student will be having his hands full for the next few days. Well, even though I say that, it's really nothing he would complain about. It's a good thing, after all. Say, Azazel, tell me something. What is it? That analogy you once told me. The one involving Canyon. Did he jump? Did he take the leap of faith and make it? Yes, he did. He leaped over it marvelously. And even though he barely made it and clung on to the side, he climbed up on his own strength. The only assistance he received was never faltering mental support and emotional connection from his caretaker, and maybe even some encouragement from his lousy sensei. But other than that, he brought himself up using his own strength, a strength fueled by unwavering determination. I suppose you could call it indomitable will. I see. Well, I suppose that's a good thing. But what about the next part? Did he reach them, or did he walk right past? Well, I don't think he ignored them. He may even be standing right beside them, but at the very least I can tell you this. He's probably not facing the same direction they are. His vision is most likely set on a wide open set before him. He didn't flinch when he looked towards them either. And above all else, the two spaces beside him, they certainly aren't left empty. And that is the end of chapter 11, Changes. And that's actually the shortest chapter I've read so far. Thank the Lord for me. Sucks for you guys, but man, have these parts been long as shit. But so this part was, a chill little, it felt like we're taking a break after the fight too. That's what this chapter felt like, right? Whoa. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this small little part. I will be doing more and more actual content, like video edited content pretty soon. I'm going to be ranking 2025 Lights events. I'm also going to be talking about how High School DxD is actually a good show and people need to look past the goon. You know what I'm saying? The lore in DxD is much more important than the goon to me. And that's what I've kind of built my audience as. I think a lot more people care about the lore, the concept of angels, fallen angels, devils, Greek mythology, Norse mythology, all the cool mythologies existing into one, the Hindu mythology, cool stuff like that existing into all one space. That is so underrated and cool, but whatever. I digress, right? So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this has been part 12, I think? Yeah, I think we're on part 12. Hope you guys did enjoy this. 100, 200 likes would be amazing. If you guys want to find out when I upload, click the little blue button and subscribe button. That'd be amazing. Thank you so much for the support. And without further intrusion, ladies and gentlemen, Spartanic Arts DxD out.